Hey guys, I'm Alejandra.
And I'm Caroline.
And today we're making chocolate peanut butter challah. My favorite kind of bread is challah, and obviously my favorite kind of snack is peanut butter. So when you combine those together with a little dark chocolate dreams, amazingness happens. If you've never made bread before, I'm telling you, challah is one of the easiest that you can start off with. So let's get started.
All right.
For our bread, we've got a little bit of warm water, some sugar, some yeast, some dark cocoa powder, our dark chocolate dreams, of course, some semi-sweet chocolate chips, 2 large eggs, some flour, and a little bit of salt. So to start off our bread, we're gonna wake up our yeast a little bit. To do this, we need some warm water. So now the trick here is to make sure the water's not too hot, otherwise you're gonna kill the yeast. That's a big no-no. My trick is to get the warm water, and then if you can stick your finger in it and hold it there for 10 seconds comfortably, then you're good to go. If it's too hot, then you just need to let it cool a little bit longer. Then we're gonna do 1 tablespoon of sugar. The rest of the sugar is gonna go in the recipe later. And our yeast. So now that just kind of gets mixed up a bit. And you just want to let it sit there for about 5 minutes. You'll see it starts to get a little bit foamy. That's how you know the yeast is alive, and it's going to make the bread rise, and it's going to be awesome. If nothing happens after like 10 minutes, then your yeast is probably dead. You need to get some new fresh yeast.
And this is just regular, like active dry yeast.
This is just active dry yeast, the kind you find in the little envelope. All right, so our yeast is all bubbly and ready, so we can start adding our other ingredients. We've got some cocoa powder here. We also have 2 large eggs, and we're doing half a cup of our peanut butter, dark chocolate dreams, which is deliciously chocolatey. This is gonna be so good. This is like the best desserty breakfast bread ever. So I'm just gonna let this go until it's completely smooth. I'm gonna actually add the rest of the sugar now too. Okay, so now we can get our flour in here. And with the flour, you're gonna put, I used to like to do like most of it and then see how it goes, because sometimes you don't need to use all of it depending on moisture in the air and other factors. It's pulling in from the sides and it's forming a nice ball. I'm actually gonna go ahead and add the chocolate chips and the salt. Still looking a little wet, so I'm just gonna add a little bit more flour. Just add a little bit at a time. So it's forming a nice ball of dough. And so I'm just gonna let this knead for a few minutes. The machine's just gonna do all the work. If you don't have an electric mixer, you can actually just do this by hand. All right. Okay, so this is perfect.
I love using a dough hook. It really saves your arms from having to do all that extra work, right?
Seriously, it makes such a difference. So what you're looking for is a dough that's a little bit sticky, but that doesn't stick to your fingers. When you touch it, you can still feel it feels a little bit tacky, but it's not gonna be on your hands. For our next step, we've got a bowl that we put a little bit of oil in already, and we're gonna pull out this dough. And then I just wanna form a nice ball with it and place it into the grease bowl. And then what you do is you flip it over once, so the grease is on all sides. And then Caroline, if you would do the honors of covering it
Sure.
loosely with that piece of plastic wrap. So now it has the oil on top on all sides, and it'll keep it from sticking. So we're gonna pop this into a sort of warmish place. Not a hot place, you don't wanna put it in the oven, but just like a warm area, and let it rise for at least an hour. But what you're looking for is for it to double in size. So summertime, that might only take 30 minutes. Winter, it might take 2 hours. So just let the dough guide you. We'll be back when it's ready to go. All right, so this has been rising for about an hour, and look how high it is. So see, it's about double what we started with. That's a lot of air and stuff in there. And so what we're gonna do here is just get a little bit of flour on the surface.
I like her technique.
Yeah.
Yes.
And a little bit of flour on my hands. And then I'm just gonna roll this out. Come on, there we go. Sweet. Now you just kind of want to punch it down a little bit, just get rid of the air. And then I'm gonna cut this in half. And then we're gonna cut this into thirds. 1, 2, 3.
Some bread math.
1, 2, 3. Now we've got 6 pieces of dough. They're about the same size. All right, so then now what we want to do is take one of these pieces of dough and then just roll it out. We just kind of want like a nice dough snake. All right, and then this is the last one. Okay, so then to combine and braid this, we want to pinch it all together. So I just kind of combine these like this, and then you just sort of want to form like a little heel, you know, like that little heel of the bread. All right, so to braid this, we're going to start from the right, and then we're going to go over 2, under 1, and then over 2. So over 2, under 1, over 2, push it over to the side. Then again, you start from the right, over 2, under 1, push it over. Then just keep going, over 2, under 1, like that. And then you'll notice these like here are very short. That's totally fine. You just kind of pull as you work, over 2, under this little one here, over there. We could do this final one.
Cool.
And then once you get to the end, you just kind of want to curl it under, just to create a little bit of a heel. And there you go. Beautiful braided loaf of challah. All right, so now that we've got our beautiful little braid, we're gonna brush it with a little bit of egg, and that's just gonna give it that sort of glossy sheen you've probably seen on challah that you get at the bakery. And then Caroline here has some turbinado sugar, so that's that crunchy, like raw sugar. So we're just gonna sprinkle that on top. It's gonna give it a little bit of extra sweetness and crunch, just make it super fun and delicious. So now we're just gonna put this back into that warm spot, let it rise for about 15 to 20 minutes, nothing too crazy. And then after that, we'll be ready to bake. 375 degrees, about 35 to 40 minutes. You just want it to rise. It'll probably be about a little bit bigger than this. And then a little shiny and golden on top, and so amazing. All right, so we got it out of the oven. It cooled completely. It looks gorgeous, a little bit shiny. It's got that crunchy sugar on top. I can't wait to dig into this.
Me neither.
So there you have it, chocolate peanut butter challah. All right, lady, I'm gonna cut myself a slice of this. Can I offer you one too?
Yes. Thank you.
All right, so I'm just gonna use my little bread knife. And you know, this is awesome on its own, but leftovers, best French toast ever.
I'm sure. Oh, it's those chocolate chips that create that little bit of a swirl,
Yeah,
too.
so the chocolate melts a tiny bit, so you get a little bit of swirl, little bits of chocolate.
So awesome. Such a great, sweet, breakfasty dessert bread.
We added a peanut buttery twist to this challah recipe. What other homemade bread recipes would you like to see us make next?
Tell us in the comments section.
Thanks for watching. We hope you liked the recipe, and if you did, give us a thumbs up.
Every week, we cook up a new peanut buttery dish, so make sure you follow the Peanut Butter and Company channel to catch them all.
We'll see you next time. Eyes up, it'll be a little bit darker around the edges, and be delicious. I'll try that again.
Shiny and golden.
So now we're just gonna put